So Netflix just released a sequel to the Norwegian film Troll called Troll 2. Which, of course, if you're a horror fan, that title will always be connected to the wonderful Nilbog classic Troll 2. But yes, this is a much different film. But I will say, they did make a reference to Troll 2 in this film. Watch for it if you watch it. Anyway, I am here to talk about both 1 and 2. Because, of course, I had to watch 1 if I was going to watch 2. The first one came out last year, and for some reason I just skipped it. I'm not really sure why. But I saw this one was up, and I was like, all right, it's high time I check out both 1 and 2. If I didn't like 1, I probably wasn't going to watch 2. But I did quite like 1, and I was like, all right, sweet. Let's move into part 2. And is part 2 a direct continuation? Yes, absolutely. So, essentially, these are kaiju movies or King Kong movies, any big monster movie. So, if you're a fan of something like Godzilla, King Kong, that kind of stuff, then I definitely think this is something you should check out. If you're not a fan of like the big monster movie, Through the City kind of films, then I would pass. The thing that actually surprised me the most about both of these, since they are so similar, I can pretty much give the same review to both. Um, the CGI is damn good. I was pretty surprised by that. I actually thought this held up against pretty much most things that come out right now. So, with it being a Norwegian film, I thought maybe it wouldn't have the blockbuster effects of like American cinema that puts so much fucking money into their projects. So I don't know what the budget was on these movies, but I thought the CGI was stellar. The CGI on our troll specifically is excellent. He has a lot of he emotes very well in his face. Now, okay, as far as what these are about, you have a paleontologist who is called in because of her expertise in Norwegian folklore, because of her father, because they think they might be dealing with a troll potentially. They don't know what the hell they're dealing with. So this guy knows her, and he's like, "Look, this is like kind of." A long shot here, but I'm going to bring you into the fold. The military doesn't really want anything to do with her. They think she's a quack, and she's not going to provide any real insight. But of course, she provides all the insight, and they go and she's talking about the lore, the folklore behind trolls in that area because of her dad's obsession with them. And they all think it's nonsense, like church bells and Christianity. That's one thing I could see. Like, if you're a super sensitive Christian, I could see this upsetting you because they kind of vilify or at least like paint Christianity in a bit of a negative light. But I don't really know much about the like lore of trolls in Norway. But I guess as far as this movie is concerned, they're correlated. I actually really liked the characters. Our main characters here, I dug them, and they all return for the sequel. Every freaking one of them, and you get a new character to boot. As far as the sequel goes, I think the sequel, it's kind of a bit of a repeat of the first one. Add another troll, so it's like Troll 2. I don't really know how the first troll returns after what happens to it in the first movie. But whatever, fine, sure, why not? And also, I do feel like some of the plotline of this, with that troll specifically, kind of undercuts a bit of the message of the troll in the first movie, since he is very much vilified in the second film. And in the first one, he is kind of an misunderstood beast. So I don't know. That was a little odd to me. Also, I just felt like while the threat of him, of course, is significant, they should have maybe had a little bit more devastation and stakes. Like, maybe put more of a focus on what they're about to destroy and who they're about to destroy. Because there are some desperate measures that are taken at the end of the second one that I was like, really? Like, I don't feel like that absolutely needed to be done. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty classic Godzilla Kong style film. And the storylines of those are pretty much almost identically the same. Outside of from very rare examples like a Godzilla -1, which I think we're getting Godzilla -0, maybe next year, hopefully next year, or maybe it films next year. But that's a phenomenal film. If you're going to watch a kaiju movie, a big monster movie of recent years, I would definitely suggest that one above all else. But I think that if you like maybe the Gareth Edwards Godzilla film with Aaron Taylor Johnson and Bryan Cranston and Elizabeth Olsen, it's somewhat lines up with that. And then the second one has flavors of like Kong versus Godzilla. So yeah, if you are into those types of films, I think that this is a good watch. There's some hokey dialogue, some kind of eye rolling moments, and you just kind of got to roll with it. Things here and there, and characters make silly, uh, logical leaps that are like, oh, okay, that's you got from here to there with just that. Okay, why not? The second movie also incorporates some adventure aspects, like an Indiana Jones, which gives our main characters a little bit more to do. That's always one of the hard things about making a big monster movie like this, is like, how do you incorporate the humans and make them feel significant to the story? Same is true of disaster movies. It's like, what do the humans do? The force is so devastating that it's like, what the fuck can these people even do? But I feel like they balance them well. And yeah, you know, I went into these expecting them to be of lesser quality, to be completely honest. I thought the CG was going to be more sci-fi channels type shit, and it was not at all. I think that the earthy nature of the trolls is captured very well with our trolls. I feel like they really genuinely feel like they're made of rock and earth. And I really do feel like the emotions in their faces. I think that's captured very well. And I do, as I said, really like our characters. With Siggy, I think it's Siggy, this nerdy tech girl that works in the defense department, and she becomes a bigger character in the second one. Just totally my kind of chick. Real nerdy, real cute. Just, yeah, I dug her. I liked everybody, though. There wasn't anybody I didn't like. I did like it. The second film does suffer a bit from sequelitis, for sure. They even make some reference to that, like a little meta wink of like, we know sequels aren't always beloved. So yeah, I definitely I recommend this only to the big monster movie fans. If you thought for some reason that, like myself, that these were going to be hokier and lower budgeted, they're not. And the first one ended with this cliffhanger of a second film, and so does this for a third film. So they plan a third. They're planning at least another movie for this, and I will 100% watch it. I do want to see these characters come back. I am invested at this point. I'll watch it for however many movies, unless it gets terrible, of course, then maybe I'll reconsider. But for now, I'm in for a third. So if that tells you anything, uh, there, you, there you go. So yeah, um, for any big monster movie fans out there, you got something new to look forward to. Maybe you just skipped right on past it. It definitely reminds me of the Norwegian found footage film Troll Hunters. That's better. I need to watch that again. Um, I didn't review it on the channel, and I feel like every time I've tried to watch it, I've fallen asleep. Not because of the movie, but you have to make the characters work in movies like this. Um, and the destruction and all of that stuff has to have weight to it, and I feel like they succeed on those things. And the CG has to be up to snuff because it can't just be too much, um, you know, like uh, taking me out of it, kind of CG, suspension of disbelief and such. So yeah, that's it. I'm just rambling at this point, but there you go. Two movies to look forward to if you're a big monster movie fan, like a big monster movie, 150 feet tall monster movie. Yeah, let me know. They're both on Netflix. You can watch them in either the dubbed version or the subbed version. They have both, and I actually watched these dubbed, which I don't typically do, but I actually liked the voice acting in the dub. So those are totally adequate English versions, but if you're more of a subs person, you want to see it in its original language, you got both. So, Netflix, check them out. Let me know. Adios.